The following podcast is recommended for mature audiences only. The following podcast is recommended for adults only. Maturity is not a requirement.
Hello and welcome to episode 13 of Dear Download, a podcast where we get to talk about our most intimate and treasured memories of Download Festival. We'll talk about each year, the bands we saw, the bands we missed, and everything else noteworthy that happened across the weekend. Also, we'll touch upon any news, other festivals, and the music industry, past, present, and future. This week, we're talking about mostly Spotify, really, but also having a general chat about music streaming sites as well, music streaming apps. I'm Adam, and I'm here with Simon.
Hello, and good day to you, sir.
Hello. So yeah, like I said, that's episode 13. So that means we've been going for exactly half a year now.
That's crazy. That's awesome.
Yeah, it is. It's just flown by. It doesn't feel like half a year.
Oh, I can't believe, like when I was doing the covers and I was like, bloody hell, episode 8. Then the next time I always think, bloody hell, episode 9. I'm like, oh my God. And I just can't believe it's been that long.
Yeah. How you doing, man? No, it's actually been a bit longer since we last spoke than it normally is. So how you doing?
Yeah, good, man. All good. Yeah. Everything's grand. Berlin was amazing. We didn't want to come back. I was really gutted when we were coming back. I was just like, oh no.
Yeah.
I really wanted to stay there. But there, one thing I will note, normally we love it there. It's fantastic. But people were slightly more reserved this time. Normally German people are really talkative and you can sort of just, just have a general conversation with people. They're quite inviting. But because in Europe at the moment, there's so much uproar to do with the COVID passes and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
That they were really sort of not dismissive, but they weren't quite as friendly as they normally are.
Okay.
So it was weird because they were, it was, you literally had to wear a mask everywhere you went. If we went to a museum or anywhere where anyone that's not necessarily German would go, if you didn't show them your COVID passport, you weren't getting in.
Really?
Yeah, you had to have everything there ready to go. Otherwise, they don't care. You ain't getting in. It's as simple as that.
Yeah. Yeah, so is that a German thing? I've actually kind of stopped following it recently. I think I followed it so much at the time because I was shielding. I just, had enough of it.
Well, there's just a bit in Europe at the moment because of the new variant that's come from Europe.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was literally happening when we were pretty much there.
Right.
There was a big uproar about it. And obviously, literally the day after we left, there was protests and marches and all sorts of stuff. So, yeah, it was getting quite heated there. I mean, we were okay. We were literally in the freezing cold outside for most of it. We spent most of our time literally just walking around and looking at stuff. So we were okay, and we wore our mask everywhere we went in, so it was fine. But yeah, even with all of those things, it was still incredible, and it was nice to get away.
Yeah.
So
that's good.
It was cool. But yeah, I won't babble on too much. It was still good. Yeah, still very cool.
Good. How about your streaming as well? Because obviously you streamed yesterday. I didn't catch you again. I know you're streaming a new game.
Yes. Well, the thing is I thought to myself, what's one of my greatest qualities? And that is normally being funny or laughing at things and making other people laugh. Okay. So why am I playing a serious game?
Yeah.
like Fallout,
Fallout,
New Vegas. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna mix it up because I only played that for one session, and I'm gonna play now Postal 2 because apparently it's one of the funniest, most bizarre, hilarious games that's been patched since 2003. So there's just so much crazy stuff in it, basically.
Yeah.
So I started to play that, and I was right. It's mental. So as we speak, on my computer is uploading my 52-minute playthrough of the first part.
Yeah, nice.
So I'm putting all those on YouTube now. So
I was going to say, is that on YouTube? Yeah, I'll have to watch that then at some point.
Oh, dude, it was. I was just thinking to myself while I was playing it, how have I not played this game before? Because it is hilarious. I was literally dying. The satire, just the hilarious jokes. It's like Duke Nukem, GTA, and Half-Life all were fused together.
Okay.
It's so weird. So weird.
Awesome.
But yeah, anyway, I'm really enjoying it. So yeah, I'm doing that from now on, which I think is much more suited to my sort of style of, streaming and YouTube and shit. Something a bit funny.
Awesome.
But yeah, man, what have you been up to, sir? How's work been and stuff? Because it's been absolutely freezing.
Yeah, I've not actually been in work since it got cold. I've been off work sick for the last 8 days.
With what?
My foot.
You've been. They've told you that. I'm afraid you're far too metal. You're doing this download podcast. You're listening to loads of bands. I'm afraid you just can't come in.
No, I injured my foot. It was stupid. It was just messing around playing football with Soren. Would have been last Sunday, about 9 days ago now. And I just had this tiny little injury on my foot after it. It wasn't anything to be worried about. But I worked the next day on it, the Monday, and by the end of my shift, because I probably walked 12 to 14 miles a day. By the end, I was in absolute agony, and I could barely walk on it.
Really?
Yeah. So I spoke to a doctor a couple of days ago, and they said it sounds like it's just soft tissue damage, and it could take up to 6 weeks to heal from just.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I know. Just from messing around trying to play football with Soren. So
that's crazy, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Did you know that also shows?
Old age.
I was about to say how much of an old man you are now.
Yeah.
Although, your job is walking around and using your extremities.
Yeah.
So without them, I mean, you are pretty much useless in your job, aren't you, really?
Exactly, yeah. I can hobble around at the moment. I can get around okay, but not at the speeds that I'd need to go for my job for the amount of time that I need to go.
Yeah.
So, they obviously, I'm sure they probably aren't too happy with me. I mean, they wouldn't be angry, but just annoyed that they've got another person off sick at the busiest period of the year.
It's not like you're like, oh, I got a cold, I can't come in, and you're like bunking. You genuinely have injured yourself, which is perfectly fine. For the amount of time you've been working there, I don't think you should feel anything wrong with taking this time off. It's fine.
Well, you say that. The 2 days previously, before I did my foot, I was off with a cold.
Right, I'd sack you, mate. That's it. You'd be gone.
Yeah.
If you were in my employ, I would have been like, "Oh, off sick, were you? Oh, injured your foot, have you?" Funny that is, isn't it?
Yeah, no.
See you later.
I am. Usually I'm okay with colds, but I worked on the Thursday with it, and it just took it out of me completely. I couldn't even cook when I got home, so I was like, if I can't sort the family out, if I can't do things around the house for the family after work, then I'm not going to work. The family comes first.
Yeah. I totally agree. Yeah, totally. If you can't walk over and make some toast and safely get back to the settee, how are you expected to walk around and deliver people's fucking parcels? Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? People's mail and their little shit they get from Amazon. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally, dude.
But so it was obviously Black Friday. The Friday just got on, so I'm sure it's pretty busy in there at the moment. And I'm
that's true.
Sat at home.
Did you get any deals? Did you get anything?
I just bought one board game which I've been planning on buying for years anyway. Just called Robinson Crusoe. Don't know if you've heard of it.
Was it marked down?
It wasn't because of Black Friday. Generally, board games aren't on Black Friday, but it was. I think it's a new website that have sort of gone into board games, and their prices are generally quite good anyway.
Oh, okay, sweet.
Yeah. So there's
good.
Oh, I'm going to go off and you've asked. I'm gonna say it now. They've got one.
You go.
There's
you go, bro.
Quite a very, very popular game called Battlestar Galactica.
Nice, great.
Which is
what a series.
It's out of print now, so it's been going for stupid money.
Oh shit!
But it's meant to be really good.
So rare.
It's so you make an evening of it. You get a load of friends around and say, right, it's going to take 3 to 4 hours to play this game. Throughout the game, one or two of us might become Cylons. I've never seen Battlestar Galactica, but just from what I've heard of it.
Awesome.
So
I'm already in.
yeah, so it's like a hidden traitor mechanic, which it is called.
Nice.
And it sounds so good. Like you never know, like the tension throughout the game. You never know who's going to be a Cylon and what they're trying to do.
Dude, that sounds amazing. I love Battlestar Galactica, and that sounds incredible.
Yeah. Because it's out of print, Fantasy Flight Games have re-skinned it, I think it's called. Yeah, they bought a new game out and basically used the same mechanics, because you can't copyright the mechanics, and used the Lovecraft story kind of, I suppose, theme. That's all. And used like a Lovecraft theme with it. So it's basically the same game. It's meant to be like 80 quid, but yeah, on this site, that's a long way of getting to this information. On their website, it was 60. So like quite often you'll see games marked down from retail, from like what the recommended retail is. But yeah, that's how, sort of good this website is. A lot of their stuff is quite cheap.
Sounds good, man.
Yeah, I'm definitely thinking about getting it, and it's awesome sounding game.
Sick. Sounds good to me, man. That Battlestar one, geez, you ever get your hands on that? That sounds incredible.
Well, they are going for, they've probably come down in price a little bit now, but they were at least £100 if you were to get hold of a second-hand one.
Do you ever go to like, so I'm just thinking, like, if you're a game, because I'm just thinking of the fact that like the sort of stuff I would go to a car boot sale and look for would be like records or retro clothes, or just random like if you're a, what are they called, board game people, board gamers?
I guess so. Yeah.
Is there like an
board game?
Yeah.
Hobbyists.
So because I see a lot of people at the car boots in the summer looking at all the board games.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing they're like checking they've got all the bits, because they're like, oh, this game's like sick, or because you see like loads of old games there.
Yeah.
And some people just go mad, like they're all over it, like looking to see probably if it's like an original, or if it's got this. It's like records. They probably look on the box and go, "Oh, when was it made? Oh, it's an original, 1990 version." Or, but I wouldn't know what I'm looking for. But I could understand. It's like, do you ever go to car boots and look for board games?
I do like to. It's not very often we get up early enough to go to them. Well, it's not very often Kelly. She doesn't listen to this.
Point.
She's not going to know I said this. It's not very often Kelly gets up early enough to go to them. I'm usually up very early with the kids, and I'm just waiting for her to get. I was like, fucking, we've missed all the decent stuff now. There's no point in going.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love going to stuff like that, knowing that there's pretty much no chance I'm going to find anything worth buying, like anything like a bargain or whatever.
Yeah, but you say that, but I've got to boot sales late before, man, and I've still got like some decent records or some decent clothes or whatever. Sometimes people just, people are thinking what you're thinking, and then no one turns up to get that particular thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
You got to get, even if it's late, man, just have a quick swing by. It only takes like, if it's a small car boot sale, it'll take what, like 45 minutes, an hour to walk around. I mean,
yeah,
might as
I
well.
know.
I'll probably end up picking up
I've
something.
always loved going to car boots. It's just getting to them. This is a difficult bit.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
Yeah, there's a game you might have played. I think it might have been a little bit before our time, but have you ever heard of Hero Quest?
No.
Probably one of the most popular games from like the 80s, and that's always going for over £100 now. So
nice.
You can get. They've just re-released it as well. Yeah, that's happening a lot at the moment.
Well, when summer comes around and I'm at these car boots, man, I might have to quickly swing you some messages and be like, is that any good? Is that any good? But if you're like, dude, quick, pick it up, man, then I'll grab some shit for you, bro.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, what about the Key to the King? Did you play many board games when you were younger?
Not apart from like, the classics.
Yeah.
But although I don't remember any, although I remember seeing adverts.
Right.
Because like in the early 90s, like tons of adverts for board games. But we were so poor.
Right.
My mum couldn't afford any of them.
Oh, okay.
So we didn't have like any decent board games. All the video games we had were hand-me-downs.
Yeah.
All that, like things that friends' mums had given and stuff like that. So no, we had like the box standard board games.
Right. Okay. So yeah, I was going to ask if you've ever heard of the Key to the Kingdom.
No.
No, I think that was quite a popular one. It's become popular again but that's what got me into board games. I was like trying to find a copy of that from my childhood, thinking, oh yeah, it'd be amazing to play
nice.
it. And then I came across all these other, it's a whole world of board games that most people don't even realize exists unless you're into
God, I
it.
bet,
Yeah. So
I bet.
anyway, that's enough about board games. What else have I been up to? I've
What else have you been doing, sir?
well, Nova's had a couple of colds recently. Well, she brought them home, and we've all had a couple of colds, and she's got quite bad. Let's say she's filling her nappies and the rest of her clothes quite a lot at the moment.
Oh no!
I don't know what the best. Yeah, pretty much every time she has any milk or anything, it just goes straight through her. And we have to wash all of the
Jesus.
clothes and everything. So yesterday I thought, well, Kelly was going out of work all day. I thought I'll try and help. I'll help do the kids' washing. Stick it all in the washing machine. And a couple of days I did that. And the second day I did it, I was like, right, I brought it all upstairs, took the day before's off, and I was like, I think I've shrunk one of Soren's t-shirts, one of his favourite t-shirts.
Oh no way!
And I realised it while I had a huge bag full of other clothes that I had just washed. And I was thinking, oh shit, what else have I shrunk if I've done that? I don't know. I haven't tried it on him yet, but
Okay,
yeah,
but there's a possibility of shrinkage.
it looks like the front is much smaller than the back.
Oh no!
Washing clothes is definitely an experienced person's game. I just chucked it in and was like, whatever, put it on whatever Kelly told me to put it on, and see what happens.
Dude, that happened to me like literally at the weekend. My sister was here, and we went to like this. There was like in Cheltenham Town Hall every couple of months they have like a vintage clothes sale.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. But you buy the clothes by weight.
Huh.
So you go and pick stuff, you put it in a bag, and then whatever it weighs, that's how much you pay.
Yeah.
So you don't pay per item, so you actually get some sick stuff. But anyway, that's a side story. We brought the stuff home, and I was like, I bought all these like 90 shirts, and I was like, oh, they're so sick. I was like, I want to wear one of these tonight, babe, to the pub because they're only thin. So we went to put them in the washing machine, and I was like, can you tell me how this works? Because I had no idea what I was doing. She's in charge of the I know that's such like a typical thing, isn't it? Like, oh, the woman does the cleaning, but no, I clean. We both share the house cleaning.
Yeah.
But one of her particular jobs is doing the washing. I don't do it.
Yeah.
So I was honestly like, babe, how do you work this thing? Help me out. So I feel you, man.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Otherwise, I haven't really got much to say. I've just been injured and ill for the last few weeks.
I'm sorry to hear about your injury, dude. But just rest up, man. Nice, easy movements.
Well, I don't know if you've got anything else for this bit. We could head on to the news.
I just want to quickly talk about Doctor Who real quick.
Okay, go on.
Before we get on to news. Okay, so the last episode of Doctor Who was atrocious. Survivors of the Flux, because they if no one knows what I'm talking about, I can't explain this, it's going to take too long, but they've basically doubled down on the timeless child theory, which is wrecking all Doctor Who lore. So yeah, I didn't like it.
No.
And I've quite liked all the rest of the episodes, and I didn't like it. I wanted to smash my TV.
Did you? Yeah, we're not up to date on your YouTube videos yet. I am up to date on Doctor Who, and I did think it was a bit weird. I don't know if it's going to be spoilers if I do go into what, but yeah, I thought it was weird the way they was taking it, and I thought, can you actually do this? Because it goes against some of the law previously. Yeah.
Yeah, well, basically what it is the guy who runs the show, Chris Chibnall, is an absolute, I won't say what, you know how I feel about over-swearing on this podcast again. But basically, he just wants to put his mark on Doctor Who. That's why he got a female doctor just because he wanted to put a mark on Doctor Who, not because he was picking the right actress or actor or whoever. Just wanted to make a mark, and he's doing this just to change the lore of Doctor Who. So even when he's not there, his Doctor Who still affects Doctor Who.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that Russell T Davies will retcon all of this completely in the next series. But so it will just become a footnote at that point. But yeah, changing the lore, and it's just the one main problem with new Doctor Who is we know far too much about the Doctor now. It's supposed to be a mystery. Like, you know, it was the same when Moffat did it. Russell T Davies done it even a little bit. I don't want to know about the Doctor's past. I don't care.
Yeah.
I want to know about the stories that are happening now. It's good when some stuff comes in, but they just over-explain everything in New Doctor Who, and it ruins any tension or sort of mystery. It kills all of that, and then you're like, well, I know everything now, so I know exactly where it's going to go. Why should I come back and watch the next episode? Hence why this was put down as one of the lowest rated episodes of Doctor Who ever.
Was it? I've not looked at that.
See, I've really liked this series up to this point, but apparently most people have just tuned out. They have not. Yeah. The same as the last series. It's just got lower and lower. I mean, ratings aren't everything these days because things are judged in different ways. But it's obviously noticeable that there's been a drop.
Yeah.
In Doctor Who, shall we say?
Yeah.
Over the years, it started with Capaldi's era. No matter how much I loved him, Moffat was overstayed his welcome for the last 2 seasons, and that went down. And then ever since, it's just been going. But there's still some good stuff in there. I think it's still a show worth watching. But anyway, that's not going on about it because I could do a whole rant on this for ages. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to talk Doctor Who. But I'm glad you as well. You were like, what's this now?
I can't remember the specific points, but there's been a couple of times in this series where I've thought they've done that just for the potential of having a spin-off, so he can get more money from it because it's his spin-off. Like, I not all spin-offs do that, but I think some have just gone, well, I'm only getting a certain amount of money for this. If I do a spin-off which is my own thing, more money comes to me.
That's a good point, actually. I never even thought about that, but now you've said it, I'm like, yes, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. I like it. I like it. I'm going to steal that point and put it in my next video.
There was something else in one of your videos. I was like, I'm going to tell you about this, and you're going to want to put it in. I can't remember it now. It was weeks ago. But you're talking about ratings. You said they're really low. Something that I've been watching that I'm surprised has got really, really high ratings is the new Leverage. I don't know if you ever watched that when it was out. Basically, they're like good guys conning bad guys. So like they're not cops, they're not detectives, they're con men. And they're like, well, this guy's been an asshole to somebody else, so we're going to go and con them out of all the money and give it to the people.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, it's really, really good. I can't really explain
that sounds awesome.
any better than that. It's on Prime at the moment.
What's it called? Leverage?
Leverage.
What's it on? Prime?
On Prime, yeah. It's called Leverage Redemption. Yeah. But there was 4 seasons out from like 2008 to 2012, I think it was.
I've literally just jotted it down, dude. Give it a watch, tell you what I think, dude. Right, should we get rid of enough programs? Should we move on to the news?
Yeah, let's do that.
I've only got a couple of bits of things that have come out, but let's move on to the news.
Cool. And I will play the jingle that I put in because you didn't give me one.
No, I will do it though. No, because it was literally just before I was going to go to Berlin, and I was like, I'm going to make this jingle, and then it got to Sunday night, and I was like, I literally have a flight in 5 hours. I can't do it. But this that you're about to hear is the jingle. The new jingle that I've created for the news. So here it is.
Or it might have been the jingle that I had for my old podcast again. I don't know.
Go.
News. I have like 0 news that I've written down. Other than what's happened today, the Spotify, whatever it's called, I can't remember what the fuck it's called.
Wrapped.
Spotify Wrapped.
Well, I was going to talk about those afterwards because we could sort of touch on ours after.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
But I've seen everyone sharing theirs, which is cool. It's actually nice sometimes to look at people and you think, oh, That's what they've been listening to.
Yeah.
That does not suit their personality whatsoever. It's quite interesting sometimes to look at people. Mine was like basic, like
Dire
there's
Straits.
nothing that stood out and then think me. I'll tell you after. I won't spoil it. I'll do two bits, not of news, but two things have been released that I just want to quickly talk about. Yesterday, 3 Days Grace, one of my favorite bands, released a new song called So-Called Life. It's actually surprisingly really quite heavy, and it's awesome. Their new album comes out in May, so they announced that the other day, so we'll probably be getting a few singles from that. So if you're a 3 Days Grace fan, you're listening, you probably already know about it. If you don't, go and check it out. Another band that I like, a new smaller British band called Puppy, released a song called Kiss, and the production is horrendous.
Okay.
So basically, right, I heard the song and I thought, wait, this is a demo, or this is like a demo. This is like an old song. I haven't heard this before. And I went and it said, no, new release. Then I went, okay. Because me and Vicky really got into them. And then I went back and listened to their like last album called The Goat. And I was like, this production's really good. Like, it sounds amazing.
Yeah.
And then I listened to the new song and I thought, they've done this themselves.
Yeah.
I can tell. They've done this themselves. And it doesn't sound
And that's
good.
interesting. We might get into why they may have done it themselves in a little bit, because we're obviously talking about Spotify and
yes,
this episode, and obviously we'll get into if you do everything yourself for a song, say, all the royalties come to you. So maybe they're just trying to bypass a few people to get extra money, but it's not really worked out.
Well, people must like it because I looked on and it was like, it had been out for like 3 days and it had like 27,000 listens. So I was like, well, obviously people are listening to it. But I was like, the song's quite good, but I can't hear past the like horrible drum sound and the zero bass. It just really, it took me out of the song because the production was so bad. So we'll talk about that in a little bit, because there's a few bands that I really love that have released terrible sounding stuff. And I'm like, who mixed this and who mastered this? Because I'm not even joking you. Give me the masters and I could have done a better job.
Yeah.
Some stuff. And we're talking big bands. And you're like, who mixed this? It's horrendous. Like, who EQ'd these drums? They sound terrible. So, there's a few, but we'll speak about that later anyway.
So it was Puppy with the song called Kiss.
Yeah, Puppy with a song called Kiss.
And
if you go listen to their... So listen to that, right? And then listen to a song called Black Hole by them, right? So Black Hole's the one on the album that sounds really good. So listen to that first, and then listen to the other one, right? And then you'll notice straight away the difference in quality. You'll be like, wow, that's quite a drop. And I don't want to diss anyone if one of them has produced it themselves or done something, if it's the first thing they've done or whatever. I always feel like with music, especially if you're in a band, you want to, unless that's what they were going for, maybe it's a new thing that bands want to sound a bit more sort of garage and a bit more, like live, I guess. But the thing is, everyone else's music sounds so nice now. People will just listen to their music instead. So I'm not anyway, we won't get into all that. But yeah.
Have you ever heard of suspension of disbelief? I'd imagine you will. No? It's basically like the theory behind any kind of movie. You go to a movie theater and watch a film, and you suspend your disbelief.
Oh, I thought you meant it was like a band or something. I know what it means.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah,
you were like, have you ever heard of suspension of disbelief? I was thinking in my head, I've never heard of this band before.
I did wonder if you think it was a band as I was saying it.
I was like, this band sounds sick.
But yeah, but when you said that it sort of kicked you out of being able to listen to the music, I wonder if there's an equivalent for music, or whether it's suspension of disbelief for music too. Yeah,
that's a damn good point, actually. Because some stuff does take you out, like whether it be like a weird instrument or a weird sound, but weird sort of mixes and masters. It never used to happen because I didn't understand music. But now I understand music and how it works and how it functions and how it's released and all that sort of stuff. I tend to really... the production is like a big thing for me.
Yeah.
Whereas
yeah.
like 15 years ago, it would have been like, oh, it just sounds like music. So there's probably a lot of people that would listen to it and go, sounds fine to me.
Probably me.
But I'd be like, sounds like shit.
I'll probably listen to it and go, yeah, it's all right.
No, you'll get it. I know me and you have spoken about music in too in-depth of manner for you. You'll hear it.
Yeah.
You'll hear
Okay.
it.
Cool.
But yeah, should we move on? We must move on. Should we move on to the main subject, or have you got anything else?
I don't have anything else. I don't think. No. You were very good at this last episode at trying to move me on. I kept trying to stop us and talk about more stuff, but you were like, "We got to keep moving. We got to keep moving." Yeah. So, no, we can go if you want. I've just done that.
Should we go? Well, you take it away, man. This was your idea, so let's put all the pressure on you.
Well, before we get into, do we want to go through our Spotify Wrapped before we get into it? Or
Let's talk a little bit about Spotify
Okay.
first, and then we'll go into that afterwards.
Okay. So, yeah, the reason. Ronnie.
Oh, is
Ronnie.
Rosa there? Ronnie Rosa? Ronna? Kada? Holiday? Hadada? Sing to me, baby.
Symphony Download!
Thank you, Ronnie. So yeah, the reason why I wanted to talk about Spotify this week was because of something you said in the last episode. Again, I can't even remember what it was now. I didn't write it down, but there was something you said, a bit like when you said bands don't make any money anymore, and that just stuck with me. Spotify.
I must have said that so many times, that comment. It's probably pissed a lot of people
Yeah.
off.
And so I thought let's talk about Spotify and we can go through a bit about it, a bit about its history. So yeah, I'll take it away this episode. The history, it's a
you go for it, bud.
Swedish company founded on the 23rd. Oh yeah, so before I go into this, I'm just going to say it's all from Wikipedia. I did actually, we said about this before.
It's all right.
I did actually try and look at other websites. I didn't even think about Wikipedia first. I was like, right, I'm going to go and try and find some really good debates about what people like and dislike about Spotify. But their SEO game must be amazing, and it just bumps everything down.
Yeah.
And I couldn't
Oh,
find
dude.
hardly anything. So I had to go back to Wikipedia. But it's fine.
There must be like a traffic report on the net where you can see, because obviously, you know, a lot of people use it. A lot of people use Apple Music as well, but there must be some sort of traffic report to tell you how many sort of hits and, you know, how much traffic they've got going through their website,
Yeah.
which is a lot, which is probably why, like you said, their Google page is sorted so perfectly, like all their spaces, all relevant articles underneath, like
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, you try and search like, and I kept trying different wording and everything, and it would be like, oh yeah, Spotify themselves have done an article about this. I don't want an article from Spotify. I want people talking about. Yeah, but I mean, Wikipedia was fine. You know, it had so much on there. Yeah, so yeah, let's get to it. It was like I said, a Swedish
man.
company founded on the 23rd of April in 2006. And it launched on the 7th of October in 2008. It currently has 381 million monthly active users and 172 million paying users, subscribers. I didn't actually look at any other streaming services. I don't know if you did, Simon.
Well, there are loads. I mean,
Yeah, but did you
like
look at them
there's
in
tons of
much detail?
no.
Whether they're...
No, I mean, obviously, I know a lot of people use Amazon Music, a lot of people use Apple, and a lot of people use Spotify. I would say they're the like main three big boys out of it. But I mean, the first thing I wanted to say to you was, how do you feel about Spotify just in general? Because me and you talk a lot on this show about, we won't go into this now because it's not really the same subject, but we talk about being children, you know, our generation's stuck in the middle. You know, we've had the CDs where we had no internet, and now we've got the internet and we don't listen to CDs anymore.
Yeah.
So how was your transition into it? Like, when did you stop listening to buying CDs? Or, you know, some people still buy some, but I mean, when did you really start to actually like stream music and be like, yeah, I'm just going to do this now?
Pretty much when they started, I think. Yeah, I think we spoke in. I think it was last episode as well. We both got it around 2008 when it was first released, and
I was so surprised when you said that, because when I said to say to people, I've had Spotify since 2008, people go, what? I'm like, yeah, seriously, dude. Like, I had Spotify in 2008, and I was so surprised when you said it. Because I was like, amazing. Like, that's so cool.
I don't think it was that popular as well. So yeah, that's even more amazing. Like, I was looking at the stats on Wikipedia, like the growth throughout the years, and it did take a little while to grow. I just kind of assumed it's free music, everyone's going to be using this, but they obviously weren't.
Well, the weird thing is that I spoke to my mum the other day, and she's like, I'm like, Mum, do you still not pay for Spotify? She's like, no. I'm like, come on, Mum. Like, honestly, like, stop being such a cheapskate. Like, you don't need those adverts. Just buy it. Come on. Like,
because it's annoying if you don't pay for it as well. So that was something I'll get into. But yeah, my view on it is it's always going to be something up for debate, isn't it? Like, there's never going to be a right answer.
Oh yeah.
Just want to get that out there first. I really like it. You know, I think it's amazing. I wish I came across more negative reviews, but Spotify has seen to it that I didn't, or negative reasons for it.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, I was thinking just earlier. You know, I'm the one album guy because I didn't have the money. Well, I didn't buy more than the first album for most bands. But if Spotify was around when I was growing up, I would have listened to their other albums and probably liked some of them, you know?
Yeah.
And I thought paying £10 a month is not loads, but realistically, how many albums would I buy a month if I was still buying only albums? Maybe 3, 4, 5, you know, probably no more than one a week if it was just albums, which is a lot more money. But
oh god, yeah.
And obviously I'd probably have the money to do that if that was what I was into. But there would always be bands that wouldn't make the cut. You know, I'd find another new band the next month and then go, oh well, this band is gonna have to wait. And then there probably would be a few bands that I just would never buy any albums because there's always something new and a little bit better, even though I like that band. So that's one thing I thought it was good with Spotify. I can still appreciate those bands that I wouldn't buy the albums for.
Totally, yeah. I think I'm pretty sure we've said before in here as well. Like, there's bands that I've discovered through Spotify where I'm like, how was I not listening to this band like years ago? I'm like, how did I miss this band, or why didn't I listen to this band? And Spotify has sort of given you the power and the quickness to sort of even just go in and just dip your toes in and just say, it's not for me. Or you go, oh my God, this is incredible. Why was I not listening to this? So for stuff like that, it is perfect. Like you said, you would have only bought so many CDs.
Yeah.
So you would have done like, you know, maybe you would have done, say if you were to buy 5, I don't know if you were anything like me, you would have bought 4 that you sort of know or are confirmed, and then maybe 1 wild card, you know, that like the cover looks cool, or you've heard of the band and other people like it. That's the sort of shit I used to do when I was buying CDs. Yeah. So you take a chance on something, but with Spotify, you don't have to pay to take that chance. No. You can just go in and listen to them and say, not for me, or oh, wicked, yeah, I'll delve a bit deeper. So for that, it's far superior to CDs. Like, yeah, totally.
And also, I can't think of any other bands right now. I know Iron Maiden are an awful example to use for this, but Senjutsu, do you think they would have made more money if it wasn't for streaming services on the Senjutsu album? Probably. Well, no,
yes,
definitely. But
definitely. Yeah,
I bet streaming services have made them more money for the first album than it would have made with people buying it this year.
Yes, that's true.
Like I said, it's an awful example. There's probably middle bands who would, let's say 36 Crazy Fists, who are not a huge band anymore. But I bet lots of people still listen to their first album, second album.
I mean, they were never huge.
That's what I'm trying to think of a band.
But yeah, I get what you mean though. I get what you mean. Yeah, totally. That's actually a really good example. Yeah. And if you go, it's like some of these bands you go on and you think This band has 6 million monthly listeners, but they haven't released a song in 20 years. It's like bands like System of a Down. Last album released 2005. They've got like 10 million monthly listeners.
Yeah.
So that means everyone on there is just listening to all their old shit.
Yeah.
They haven't released a CD or a song or whatever. So people are essentially, like you said, they're doing what you would do. They're buying like what's considered to be like a classic album.
Yeah.
But would they have bought that many CDs? Or are they just listening to it because it's so easy to get to their music
Good question.
now? Which is a really good debate.
Yeah, what I was going to say was, the big question is they're making probably very little money. Going back to 36 Crazy Fists, they're making very little money on those first few albums. But if it wasn't for streaming services, would they have made more selling? They might have sold a couple hundred CDs, something like that, for example, over the last 10 years of the first two albums. Maybe more than that. But yeah, would that have made more money because it makes them more money than the amount of streams they get? If that, I can.
Yeah, but also you got to think about the streaming thing, even though it's streaming and it seems different, still works the same way as it did when they were signed to a record label selling CDs.
Yeah.
The money still filters through plenty of other channels before it gets to them.
Yeah, that's true.
So, maybe now it goes through more because you've got the service that it's released through, which obviously probably costs more to get on and use than selling CDs or whatever. I don't know what that price is. But then you've got to pay, you've got to pay them and you've got to pay the label, then you've got to pay the artist. But there's loads of other stuff in there.
Yeah.
Like, just, Spotify ages ago they were like taxing, and then they were like putting little asterisks on things in contract. They were getting it really bad in the year, like a couple of years ago. I know they've cleaned a lot of that stuff up, and a lot more money these days is going to the artists. I know they're still not seeing a lot of it, but I think they're filtering as much money through as they possibly can at this point. But a few years ago, they weren't, and they were making way more money than the artists. I know it's changed slightly now. It's probably still quite bad, but listen, it's their service that you're using. Yeah. It's a business. I know they were probably squeezing a bit too much money out a few years ago, but it's a platform. It's their platform. If you want to use it, they have to take a cut.
Yeah.
It's business. That is the music industry has always been people making money off of someone else's talent.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's always the way it's going to be.
But the thing is, Spotify, they're not, as a business, is not turning much profit at all. They're still in the growth period. A lot of people know that businesses take years to sort of grow to get to where they want to be to be making the money they want to be making, and they consider themselves to be in the growth period still. So they're not. I think I want to say 2018 or maybe 2020, they only had about £400,000 profit, or maybe $400,000 profit. The rest went to the people they had to pay, like you said, the artists, the publishers. I think they give 70% of their obviously wages as well. Yeah, they give 70% of what they of their income back to the artists, which is quite a lot.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'd say it wasn't that before.
Okay,
that's changed. That's definitely changed. See, now that sounds fair, doesn't it? But it's all relevant.
Yeah.
If you've got 1,000 listens, you don't make any money. You have to be above a certain amount of plays to even make any money, and that's probably not a lot of money. You might see bands on there that have got 1 million listeners, probably not making very much money from Spotify.
Well, I'll tell you what, I made a spreadsheet earlier, so we can do some maths.
Spreadsheet.
So,
baby.
Spotify. I thought we were going to get to this much later in the show, but that's fine.
Yeah, go on.
Spotify in the UK, they pay 0.58 pence per listen, per stream to whoever. That's how much they pay, and that gets divided up between, like I said, the publisher, the writer, the artist, or whatever. However, so like I was saying earlier, if you do everything, that comes straight to you.
Okay, so what's 70% of that? Because then we'll have a closer figure to what the actual artist will be getting.
No, so it's 70% of what they earn goes back to whoever. So it's not just the artist.
Right. Okay.
They keep that 30% for things like wages. I assume they have to pay
That's
for
fair
building
enough.
or whatever.
That's business.
Yeah.
That's how I assumed it would be something like
Yeah,
that.
so
but
they pay 0.58 pence per stream to whoever gets it, whoever it goes to, and then it gets divvied up from there.
filtered
Yeah.
down. Okay, so say for argument's sake, if you half that and you say half went to the label and half went to the artist,
Yeah.
and then we could get one really popular song on Spotify, times that by that amount, and then you could probably get a rough idea of what they made off that one song.
Depends how many streams you want to make. Or
Well,
how many streams you want it to
say
have.
if I Google Billie Eilish and go to her top song,
Yeah.
it will tell me how many times it's been played.
Yeah.
So then we can times that. So got what you've got, divide that in half, and then times it by the number I'm going to give you. Don't you love maths and
I
spreadsheets?
love this.
I mean, this is probably all wrong, but let's just do it for our own.
Times by 2, did you say? What was that? No, times by 2. I've just halved it.
No, so
Times.
so half what you've got, half
Yeah.
the number that you have there,
Yeah.
and let's just pick like a random song. Okay, so have you got that number? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so now times that by this number I give you,
Okay.
which is 378
Yep.
118
Yep.
367.
3. And
So Happier Than Ever has been played 378,118,367 times.
I want to make that into a number. So that would make 1 million.
There you go.
Yeah, just over £1 million.
So and that's half.
Yeah.
We've already halved the numbers you've been paid, right? There's songs on her Spotify that have got 1 billion plays.
Yeah. Oh, but yeah,
So you can see
she's part of the mega rich. So
that's what I mean. Though I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like the elite of Spotify are making a shitload of money.
yeah,
The people in the middle are making okay money. The people at the bottom are making mid-tier to bottom. It's pretty much only the elite really that are making proper money, livable money.
yeah.
Everyone else is just pocket money.
But that's how the music
So
industry's
it's interesting
always
to
been.
look at these. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Streaming is no different to CDs.
No, not at
because
all.
it's literally just what's popular.
It's all-
But I feel like bands made more money from CDs. That's what it feels like in my head. That's not necessarily what it is in truth, because maybe we should have gone out and got some statistics as, Limp Bizkit sold how many CDs in 2000. How much money would that be in 2021?
Do you know, I was going to do that. Let's do that really quickly now. Okay, so 7 million. I need that back. So, because I've got some stats here that I want to go through. Albums that sold 7 million in the first year, say. That might help. No, I don't have a list of fastest selling albums. No, this doesn't help. That doesn't help. But anyway, so what I was trying to work out was the stats I've already got here written down was I worked out roughly how many streams you would need to make £20,000. I worked out because I thought that's how much to live comfortably here. That's how much you probably want to make. I don't know about London or wherever else.
How much?
About 20,000 a year. £20,000 a year.
Oh, I'd say that's fair.
Yeah. And so you would need 3.5 million streams to make £20,000 in a year. that's only if it's one song. So, say you had an album of 10 songs to make it easier. You would need to have that album listened to 350,000 times, which doesn't sound as bad, does it?
Doesn't sound that much, but bands struggle. I mean, I'm not 90% of the bands I'm listening to, apart from a few ones like Sleep Token that have like grown ridiculously in the last couple of years, have got like between 20 and 30,000 like monthly listeners.
Yeah.
That doesn't obviously mean all their tracks are getting that many. So it's not really that much. And these are the sort of bands that have been together like 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
So you really need to like make it big within the first like 5 to 10 years. Otherwise, you're not going to be making any sort of livable income off of music.
Yeah. And I have something else to say on that as well, thinking about it. It was a question I think I might have put to you, but not put in the podcast. So one of the very few things I learned at uni with the music industry was when you get signed to a record label, you obviously borrow a fucking load of money from them, and they'll say, all right, we'll make 4 albums, say, but it's usually not until you get to the 3rd or 4th album that money starts coming back to you anyway. You know, at least your first 2 albums, most of that money is paying back what you've borrowed from the record label. So it's exactly what you just said, pretty much. Like the first 5 to 10 years is paying back the record label, and if you don't make it big, the record label is going to drop you.
Yeah, that's probably why, like, you know, I say independent label. That doesn't really make almost all the labels are independent now, so it doesn't really make a difference because everyone's in it for themselves. Everyone's branched out and done loads of stuff. But that's probably why independent labels in the beginning were there.
Yeah.
Because it was like, yeah, we're going to make this together.
Yeah.
We're not going to give you a lump sum. We're all going to make this, and like everyone's going to get paid, and everyone's going to, you know.
I've not heard of that before. I didn't know that was a thing.
I remember stories about I think it was Blink's like 3rd album, Enema of the State, and they were like, "Oh, we're gonna pay you for this one," and they're like, "No, because we got no money, so you can just pay our rent."
Huh.
You pay our rent, and that's fine. Like, don't give us money.
Yeah.
And I think they like rented a place for them, and then they wrote, or I think it was before Enema of the State. I can't remember. It was around that time. So there's probably been stuff like that. Like, no, don't give me any money. I don't want actual money.
Yeah.
Just like pay the rent and we'll call it quits. Like,
so
musicians are like, nah, I'm really poor.
So so Blink-182 wanted the record company to pay their rent. Not, I wasn't sure if you meant it was the other
I'm
round.
sure it was Blink or Green Day. It was one of those bands, and they were like, nah, don't give us money. Just pay the rent of the place we want to live, so we don't have to like. Because if we have money, we'll just spend it.
Yeah.
So put it into something that we can't actually spend, and then we have a place to live.
Yeah.
Which actually sounds like a really clever thing to do.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm sure all that sort of stuff was happening. Like, I would love to get an interview with someone, someone that was in like the big sort of mid to early noughties sort of boom.
Yeah.
Of like alternative music, and speak to them and say like, is it true that like these record labels were making so much money off of music that they were doing all this outlandish shit, and like the bands were hardly getting paid, but like Slipknot and Papa Roach, and that they didn't get any money from these albums that were just like massive because the record label was just taking all the cash and doing crazy shit with it, like spending like £5 million on one music video.
Yeah.
Like they were doing crazy stuff back then. Like the videos cost so much money.
Yeah. Well, that's something I've not heard of either. I've never heard of any of that.
Yeah. Oh, dude, there's been stories. You can go online. There's like bands saying that, like we weren't getting paid, but the label was spending like $2 million on our music video.
Bloody hell.
But we weren't getting any paychecks, or they got paychecks and they were looking at like, really? We've sold like how many albums and this is the shit we're getting paid? Well, you had other people that were getting paid loads of money, and that's what the people you saw in like Cribs and stuff, where they were like, come into my house. And they're like, they made so much money from music They just went and bought a house from one paycheck.
There they are.
So yeah, I guess people have different experiences. But
That would be interesting, yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to speak to someone from any of those bands and just sit down and have like a really in-depth talk with them about their music and stuff, but I'd really like to talk about what the industry was like and how it worked, and were the suits as slimy as like people actually made them out to be at the time. Like, where they like, we're not putting this out because this isn't what we want. You're in our contract. We don't care what you want. It's not your music anymore. It's our music. Because that happened with a ton of bands.
Yeah, I've heard that.
So
yeah,
it'd be interesting. But anyway,
Definitely.
that's completely different.
Yeah,
We're talking about Spotify. But
well, one thing you just reminded me of, which I forgot to say during my statistics a minute ago, was obviously that's for one person. If you've got a band of 5 people, you need to make 5 times that. You need to make $100,000, and that's if all that money's coming to you. You know, if you're making half of that, you need to make $200,000 from one lot of streams. So yeah, I kind of get that. It sounded good on paper to start with, and I've just sort of realized what I had done. Yeah, another interesting thing that I've heard recently. Actually, it wasn't on the Wikipedia. It's just something I heard in a video a couple of weeks back. Someone has said that I never actually said who the guy who made it was, but anyway, the founder. Do you remember his name? Something Eck. I didn't write.
Yeah, he was going to buy Arsenal Football Club a couple of months ago.
Oh, was he?
Yeah. They were all psyched. They're like, oh, awesome. We'll all get free Spotify. He didn't do it in the end.
No, anyway, so yeah, I didn't write it down, but he has basically come out and said doing standard albums just it don't really work on this platform. You can't release just a bunch of songs every 2 years and hope that sustains you, hopes that makes you enough money. But yeah, so I suppose what you kind of want to do is, I don't know, go to a recording studio, record a load of stuff, and just like release one per month or something like that, and just to keep the hype up. I don't know, there's probably lots of different ways you could do it.
I've said it before. EPs are the way to go, man.
Yeah.
You could release 4 EPs a year, 3 songs on each EP. That would be almost the same amount, 3 or 4. Yeah. That's almost the same amount that you would put on an album, except you're just releasing them in. I'm not going to give that away because our band has a whole. We're moving forward. We ain't.
Do you want me to
do
cut
no
that?
album things. You get me? No. People should use it. People are doing it already. We're not doing anything new. We're just copying what other people are doing. Because, I mean, it's about we've talked about them before. Wargasm.
Yeah.
They've got like 5 songs. And they've got a ridiculous amount of plays and a ridiculous amount of listeners because them and bands like Sleep Token, where they released an album, but they released a song a week that made up the album.
Yeah.
So it was like 13 weeks, and then hype just grew and grew. And the new song's coming out next week. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Like, these bands are clever, and these are the bands that have gone from 30,000 listeners to 250,000 listeners because they've been very clever with their marketing and very clever with the way they release their music, and it's worked. You can see from the numbers it's working, and this is what other people are going to do. And when that dies out, another thing will come. And actually, there was an interview with Noel Gallagher that I really liked. He was talking about his daughter, and he was saying to her, what album are you listening to? And she's like, an album? I'm not listening to an album. And he's like, yeah, kids just don't listen to albums anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to release a song that can go on someone's playlist, then you're making some money. Don't just be coming out releasing an album because I don't want to say people are dumber, but musically their attention span has dropped.
Yeah.
Some people purely listen to playlists. I was going to put this in my pet hates. Okay, Simon's pet hates. Right, my first pet hate is people that let their dogs lick them on the mouth. But I won't get into that. That's a whole nother subject for a different time. But the other thing that I hate is people that listen to albums on shuffle. It makes me feel sick.
Yeah. Okay.
An album is made. This is our old school album. An album is made to be listened to from start to finish.
I agree with that.
If you shuffle an album, you're a monster. Okay, you're a monster.
Have you heard the news about Taylor Swift recently? Then.
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay. So
is this relevant? I have not heard this.
This is
now.
absolutely relevant. So,
okay.
So, if you don't pay for Spotify, you can only have it on shuffle, and you obviously get the adverts like you always have. You can only have it on a shuffle. You can't skip a track more than 6 times in an hour. And Taylor Swift have basically come out and said, like, you should not have albums on shuffle. And she personally made Spotify remove the shuffle from albums.
Oh, amazing. That's grand. Well done.
I didn't know what that meant. I was just like, well, I can choose not to shuffle an album if I want. But I didn't.
Yeah, but
I realised today
we're paying customers. Let me just open the window. We're paying boys. That's why.
Yeah. I realised today. Yeah. Well, if we
no, that's awesome. I never knew that, dude. That's totally relevant. Honestly, I was not stealing that limelight. I had no idea she said that, but I am in total agreement.
Yeah.
With total agreement. Yeah. I hate that shit.
Absolutely. I hate it. Well, no, I wouldn't say I hate it. I don't really know anybody who does it. It's never really happened to me.
Vicky does it sometimes.
Does she?
Yeah, and it really, I'm like, come on. I don't think she realizes she's doing it, but I'm like, this, like when you really like an album, because sometimes I accidentally put mine on shuffle when I'm listening to a playlist and I don't take it off. And if you listen to an album and you're like, you know what's coming next. You know what's coming next.
And it doesn't come next.
Comes on, you're like, what? Oh, it's on shuffle. I ruined it. And then you got to go back. I hope other people feel these sort of nerdy things that me and you get, because like otherwise we're just like the biggest nerds ever.
Yeah,
I'm sure people do.
I'm sure they do. Well, if we're going back to if we somehow managed to get this tangent back to Spotify, which is awesome, I'll read out some more of the stuff that I wrote down for it. You said about the artists, the sort of the elite at the top are the only ones making money or making the most money. Yeah, according to
big money.
So this was a complete copy and paste off of I didn't want to try and word this in my own way. According to Ben Cesario of the New York Times, approximately 13,000 out of 7 million artists on Spotify generated over $50,000. That's £37,500.
Wow, that's not a lot, is it?
No.
From 7 million. Holy hell.
In 2020, that was. Yeah. And that's not many. But then, again, you have to know what the balance was before.
Yeah, because I think I wish I'd paid more attention to Spotify in the early days.
Yeah.
To sort of see how much. And another thing I'm thinking as well is like, I remember looking on there and going, well, there's no Peter Gabriel on there. There's no Mushroom Head on there. There's no Tool on there. There was no Beatles on there for a while. There was no Zappa on there for a while. Like all these huge bands that I wanted to listen to.
Yeah.
And I was like, how are these people making money if they're not on Spotify? But it's like some of them were on Apple.
Yeah.
And then some of them, like Tool and Peter Gabriel, just weren't on anything. And I was like, okay, so did they go on there because they knew that if they went on there, they would be popular and make some money? Or did it get to the point where their record company was like, look, you have to go on there? Like,
yeah,
you have to. Like, I think I said to you last time, my friend Alex, one of my best mates in the world, but he's way younger than I am. So he wasn't around when like Tool were doing their thing the first time in that year. So when we were discussing Download, he's like, who are Tool? They were headlining the festival.
Yeah.
Yet this guy had literally no idea who Tool were, because he's like, well, they're not on Spotify. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Why would you know who these people are unless you've been in that scene listening to music? Like, you can't even search them. You have to go on YouTube. But they're on there now. They've been on there since then, just before that, I think.
Yeah.
But he was like, I was like, yeah, you're totally right. Like, I could see why half the people here would have no idea who Tool are, because they're not the places that they're supposed, air quotes, to be. Do you know what I mean? Like, so it's interesting to see if musicians have been forced onto it, or, you know, they've just gone, okay, we've got to move with the times, and move on. You know, I know people are still buying CDs, and vinyl's back in a huge way.
It is,
but I'm not sure that's going to generate, way overpriced as well. But that I'm not sure that's going to generate you the amount of money that you need. And I know they got loads of other stuff. They do, you know, we've said before, concerts and merch, that's where you make your big bucks.
Yeah.
And then you get Spotify and streaming services where you make money if you can, I guess. But yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
but
it's cool.
totally.
The same with Tool. I have always said I dislike Tool, but the only song I've heard is Schism. Well,
Schism. It's a good song, man.
Schism. No, I didn't like it. But there's a big but.
Surprised.
When I've said about it before, when I was listening to the Countdown to Classic 2008 or pre-2008 playlist they were making, and they were talking about Tool, I don't know how he fucking did it. He played every single song they spoke about. He played a bit in the background, and they were talking for about 2 hours, maybe more. So he said it took a lot of editing, but I don't know how he got away with putting all that music in. But yeah, some of the Tool stuff that I heard in the background, I was like, this is actually not bad. You know, I could get into this. But there's no way I'd ever buy an album at this point.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
being able to check them out on Spotify is a good thing.
Yeah, you could go, oh, what was that song? Ah, sick. You could find out what it was, and then you could go on and go, yeah, this song's sick, actually.
Yeah.
And they do have some bangers. Like, they have some bangers.
Yeah.
They're not my favourite band. I'm not like a Huel Tool mark like some people are, but they've got some absolute bangers. They do. They're
Yeah.
very good band. I can understand. I respect them totally. I'm not a proper Tool head, but they are bum-ting. But yeah, so it's another weird one. You know, were people forced on, or did they go on for their own fruition? Who knows?
And it's like, look, I don't know. It's just a massive guess, but I would say it's a bit like we said about being on Twitter. You know, it's a horrible place. You don't want to be on Twitter, but you have to be if you
feel
doing
like
this
you
kind
have
of thing.
to. Yeah. Well, we've got like 90 followers on. I'd like to take a round of applause here from Adam for my hard work. We now have 90 followers
I'll put
on
one
Twitter.
in.
Plus
No,
interactions.
okay.
We have actual interactions. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I tried.
Awesome. Yeah, no, it's doing all right. I'll pick up Instagram and Facebook again a little bit again.
Yeah, no, dude, you're good at Instagram. You do
Am I?
really good. You do really good like captions, and the pictures you put up are great. I'm happy with the Instagram.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Yeah, it's nice.
Cool.
Just got to make sure you always do the stories,
I've heard that.
because people literally like Vicky, she sits there on her phone and she'll go through every single story if she's bored.
Really?
And people tend to do that because they just generally want to see what people are up to or what they're doing.
Yeah.
So whenever I do anything for like the YouTube channel or for us, when I share like the Dear Downer stuff, I always put it on the story, because sometimes more people see the story than actually see your post.
Yeah. Okay.
So it is
I'll do
definitely
that.
worth, like, that goes for anyone that's listening. If you're in a band or you've got a podcast like us, or you want to share any of your stuff, make sure you do the stories, because you will get a lot of, like, not necessarily interaction, but people will see it, and that's one of the main things. So
Yeah.
it's a good tip for anyone. I've heard that is really good.
Awesome. Yeah. I'll,
Vicky just messaged me because she can hear me, and she's what did she say? I think she said that I'm lying. I don't think she can. She said, I can't look at every single one. It would take hours. I follow 800 accounts.
bloody hell.
That's a lot of people to follow. But she, you know,
But
she's
she
a
will.
poll instructor.
Yeah.
So she does poll stuff, and she follows loads of people, and she goes through it. So,
Yeah.
but she does it. I'm just going to go back behind the microphone and say, she does it a lot. I know you do. I know you're listening. Eavesdropping on my conversation. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is a private conversation between two friends and their listeners.
Private
You know, don't eavesdrop it.
Yeah. Private.
She just said you're too loud for private conversations.
Anyway,
that's good
right.
stuff.
Okay.
Anyway, let's move on. Let's move
Let's
on.
yeah, let's get to more stuff that I've written down. I've written loads of stuff down. I didn't put any in any of order. You've
Any of order, many of aura, many of aura,
killed
many of
horror.
honor.
Oh, that's a song. You killed me with that.
Sorry.
And that'll be the title. So something along the lines of
So,
Simon kills Adam. Find out in the bio, link in bio, whatever.
link in bio. if we were doing a YouTube channel, that would be the bait title.
Yeah. What we got? I talked about free accounts can only skip up to 6 times. That's bullshit, right? Like,
Go on.
it used to be the free accounts would only have the adverts. That was it. But so they've added in that you can only have it on shuffle if you're not paying.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't like that before.
No.
Like 100%, because I remember listening to albums. It would be adverts, so it would be
Yeah.
like annoying, but it wouldn't be like, oh, you've just okay, you've like we were just saying, you've just not done the album right.
Yeah. But like, oh, it annoys me. They've gone out of their way to make your life a misery, so you pay for it, which just reminds me of the business models that a lot of the mobile games do now, and everyone fucking hates that. I hate that. You know, you have stuff you got to pay for, yes, but don't deliberately make people's life harder. You know, don't have it only on shuffle. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
It's nice that they've gotten rid of that off of albums now, but yeah.
I remember. Sorry, just quickly. You've literally just taken me back to like 2012. I remember playing Candy Crush on the train.
Yeah.
On my way to my job in Watford, on the way from Watford, Harrow Wealdstone Station to Watford, on the train, and I was playing Candy Crush, and I was getting like really good at it. But then you got to a certain level, and you never had enough goes.
Right.
So you had to buy more.
Yeah.
And I was already so into the game and I didn't want to spend any money. I was so angry, I could have thrown the phone off of the train. I was like, it's kind of like that. It's like, okay, so I've got this far,
Yeah.
but now I just can't do anything else because
Yeah.
I literally have to buy it now.
Yeah.
That's more games than, yeah.
Hate it. Do you know, there's a Lemmings game, a mobile Lemmings game that I don't think ever became very popular, but it was a really good game. But it was the same thing, you know. If you want, I'm sure you played Lemmings. You know what I'm talking
dude,
about, yeah.
Lemmings
If
on the
you-
Master System,
If you
Mega
want
Drive,
this
incredible.
lemming to stand and block the other lemmings, that's going to cost you 1 energy. If you want this one to dig, that's going to cost you 1 energy.
Oh.
And it gives you like, I don't know, probably about 30 energy, maybe 50. But you'd have to use at least 10 per level. But if you got stuck and don't know what to do, you could use all of that energy on one level trying to work it out and then have to fucking wait. It was a really good game. Really, really
That's
good
a shame.
game. But
Yeah, there's a lot of things out there. There's like, I started to play Star Trek Online, and I was like, this is really immersive and incredible. And then, like, as soon as you go onto a ship and start doing things, it's like, yeah, you've got to buy all this shit. And I was like, so you've just like, I was having a really good time. I was just about to literally start getting into it, and then you've just bombarded me with all this shit that I have to buy now. Thanks.
Yeah.
But dude, I loved Lemmings, so
yeah.
it's a shame that was a bit crap.
Yeah.
Because Lemmings was the one. That was so much fun.
Well, I reviewed it for my old podcast, and I think it was picked by a listener, but it didn't state which lemmings you needed. So I was like, I don't want to play the original ones. Everyone knows them. There was a couple others that were shit, so I was like, there's a mobile one. Let's try this one out and do this. It's a bit
Nice.
a bit different.
That's awesome.
But
yeah, that is different.
It was a good game, but they fucked it up.
Oh.
We'll be doing this bullshit tactics that everybody else is doing at the moment. Anyway, back to Spotify.
Spotify.
Well, what else? They are. Do you know what? They are thinking about introducing. That's the right word. Thinking about
They are
introducing a tier of subscription where you don't have that shuffle all the time. You've only got the adverts, which is great. I think it's like 99 cents is what I could see. I couldn't find anything about it being coming to the UK yet, but usually when it's like $1, it'll be £1. It won't be any different. It doesn't matter about the
No, that's not. That's pretty good actually. Yeah.
Paying £1 a month to be able to listen to it as much as you want, not having shuffle.
That's cool.
I think
I like that.
a lot of people would do that. Hopefully, they
Oh,
do
we got to
anyway.
think about. There's some people out there like we said this before. We're lucky, you know. We both have decent jobs and we got money, and then obviously you got kids, so you got probably less money than I have. I'm not saying we got loads, but you know, like some people have no money, dude. Like no money. Like that would be incredible for some people. They
Yeah.
would be like, "Oh my god, Spotify for £1." They're having a laugh.
Yeah.
Like, I bet there'd be a massive take up on that, because £10 is £10 to us. That's not £10 to someone else.
Yeah.
£10 a lot of money. Like, I can buy you a lot of food. £10 if you spend it correctly. So, well, probably not so much these days. Everything's so friggin' expensive. But yeah, it's
90
it's
beans.
horses for courses. And yeah. Oh, you got to crack on the beans. You got to crack on them. Oh, we've all been skint, and I'm sure people listening that have been students and they've had no money. I've been living in a tiny little bed share place. We get the beans out. Do you know what I mean? Tins of mackerel, 50p. There we go. Like mackerel and tomato sauce. Get your protein for 50p or whatever. So, most people have been there and experienced it. But yeah, for £1, or like even $1 if they're trying it in America, that's so sick.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, if it
I like
takes
that.
off, I'm sure it'll be everywhere.
Yeah.
So hopefully it works. Hopefully it works well. Another thing they are thinking about introducing is supposed to be this year. I don't know if it will at the moment, but it's going to be hi-fi mode. Or Spotify hi-fi planned for 2021, which is basically lossless audio. What did it say? Oh, I got it. We've spoken about how they make the quality, or the file sizes smaller, so it makes the quality size smaller. Well, basically, it's going to be the same quality as a CD, pretty much.
Oh, okay.
I haven't seen whether it's going to cost any more money for that. I don't think it will. I think it's just going to be a general rollout of that new way of listening.
That's very interesting. That's quite weird. That's quite different.
Yeah. But I think that they're not the only people to do it. I think a lot of other people are doing it. With this kind of thing, they've got to keep up with everybody else, don't they? So if somebody else starts offering a better service, they have to do it as well. So
yeah. I think that's, when you're in these companies, you probably really have to be on the pulse of what's happening.
Yeah.
Because if someone takes something else and markets it so well to theirs that you try and do it and you can't get it off the ground, you've automatically lost out. It's kind of like all these things when, like, I can't remember, like Amazon. No, it wasn't Amazon. It was Yahoo had the money to buy Google, or they turned it down, or Blockbuster could have bought Netflix, but they said no. And like all of these like missed business opportunities when these people just they're so fixated on what they're trying to do that they can't see the forest for the trees, and they can't see where things are heading. But a lot of companies employ people now that it's their job to sort of have their finger on the pulse and know what's happening in the consultants and all sorts of stuff to tell them what to do or where to go. But you wouldn't have had that before, so these companies would have missed out on these like hugely fantastic opportunities because they were just like, I don't even know what this is. Like, why would I buy this? I don't know what it is. Like, and I'm sure that will happen again in the future. Like in 20 years, someone will be like, oh my God, someone could have bought this, but they said no because they didn't know what it was, or, like shit like that. So it's a good point because, you really do have to be on top of stuff because it's evolving constantly. Yeah.
I'm glad you took that one and ran with it because I was going to go to adult nappies. So that's and I'm not going to go into that anymore.
We're not going to go back there. We're just going to leave you with that thought in your head, people.
If you want to know the story, ask me about it.
We'll put a new section on the on all of our social media. It's called Ask Adam, and you can just ask him random questions, and he'll give you answers to them, or whatever.
Absolutely, yeah, awesome. Have we got anything else here that might be interesting? I think we've covered a lot of what I've wanted to cover. Actually, I've written down a lot of the stuff that's happened, the stuff that they've done. But what I wanted more was a conversation about it, and this has been amazing. This is what we've done. It's been awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's much more that we could have covered, but they have done a lot of different things. Like I said earlier, Spotify will always be a topic of debate.
Yeah.
Some people have said it's unsustainable and they don't pay their artists anywhere near enough.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, before, Spotify albums had a fixed amount that the artist would get, whereas like streaming service. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, streaming services is based on it's called based on their market share. So, say for example, this is not going to be true, but for example, say 50% of Spotify's money comes from the UK, well, then
Yeah.
50% of the money going out. No, that's not right. So the UK artists, is it UK artists? No, it can't be UK artists. Let's read out exactly what I've written and see if that makes sense.
Okay, you read it. You read it, bud. No, you're there. I can see that. I can see the cogs and the digits and all the numbers turning in your head. It's in there.
Well,
It's just got to get out.
yeah, well, basically, like I said, we British artists get 0.58 pence. In a different country, they could get 0.3 pence. Another country, they could
Okay,
get 0.8.
I get you.
But I can't remember exactly how they got to that point of how much that artist gets.
Okay.
I was trying.
So they must have worked that out
Yeah,
using the different markets and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah, totally. Yeah, yeah, because they could be. Someone could be based in India, and they could be getting rupees, but that's not necessarily relevant to pounds or dollars. So how much do they actually make?
yeah,
Because £1 million is a lot more than 1 million rupees.
Yeah.
So how do you measure that out? So yeah, I get that. Yeah.
yeah.
That,
No, I think
that would be confusing. Like a lot of the logistics of this is, you can see why these people need a lot of staff
yeah,
because there's a lot of stuff to work out. I can see it getting quite complex. I think if you were to sit down in their office and look at all this stuff, you'd probably be like, there's a lot going on here and a lot to think about.
yeah,
Like a lot to think about. Like, yeah, I think any company dealing with any sort of tech, no matter what kind of app or whatever, there's a lot of stuff, a lot of levels that they have to go into. And I think from the base to the top, you'd be like, okay, so we haven't even got to the actual music yet. We just talked about the app, the money, the thing. What about the music? That's probably like the last point that they get to is like, oh yeah, we actually have to release music on this platform.
yeah,
Like it's the least important bit about the platform is the actual music. Like mental.
yeah, yeah. I think what I was going to try and say, which I think was incorrect, was if the UK pays 50% of the money going in, then UK bands get 50% of the money coming out. But it doesn't account for that because it's not going to be just English fans that listen to the English bands. So
Yeah, of course.
I don't know
it's
how-
going to be over.
I don't know how I came to that conclusion in my head. That's obviously incorrect.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how exactly they work it out. But
Well, my brain's beginning to hurt just even thinking about that. So let's
Yeah.
let's move on.
yeah, well, I think that's pretty much all I have written down about it. Like I said, I think we've had a pretty good chat.
Yeah.
I always come away from these thinking, oh, there's so much more we could have talked about, but there probably isn't. You know, it's probably fine. It's just me being a perfectionist. I want to try and cover every single topic, but there's no way we could do that.
Well, it's kind of always a topic of conversation with us. I mean, we've spoken about it in little bits in the podcast leading up to this, and we'll probably speak about it leading out of it as well. So I suppose people will always get sort of drips and jabs from Spotify because, like you said, it's always a topic of conversation.
Yeah.
Like for or against, or what's happening, or something changing. So yeah, like we'll always dip in and out of it, but it's been good to talk about because it's something we've mentioned a lot. So
Yeah, definitely.
it is good.
So, so like we said earlier, it is I've forgotten what it's fucking called again. I had to Google it before I posted about it. Not Google it. I had to go into Spotify to remember the name. Spotify Wrapped.
How have you forgotten it again? I reminded you at the beginning as well.
I know. Yeah, like I said, I did post about these. I posted some screenshots of my Spotify Wrapped. Like I just said, I was writing it and I had to go back to Spotify to remember what it was called to carry on writing, and I just keep forgetting. So yeah, the ones you've seen at the moment have been mine, and they're awesome.
Yes.
And so yeah, we posted them. We're going to go through ours a little bit. I was hoping we'd be able to go through each other's, like go through the whole Wrapped thing and comment on
I
it,
get
but there's no way of getting it on my computer. I thought we could like
No.
screen share our own Wrapped to your, like, so yeah, you'd screen share your Wrapped to me, and I'd sort of do running commentary and go, oh, that's interesting, but there's no way of doing it. So
No.
should we just talk about our own?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Should we do like your number one, my number one? Or should we go from 5 up? Top artists.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. No. Okay. Yeah, because I've taken screenshots. I didn't know if you were going to go through the whole.
I know mine off my heart already. I was like, yeah, that doesn't. That definitely doesn't surprise me one little bit, baby.
One thing that did surprise me, which is not in this bit, so I just want to get it in here. Is, do you remember I said last year I was in the top 1% of Iron Maiden listeners, and
Yeah.
that was a bit of a surprise. Well, this year I was in the top 0.5%.
Whoa!
And I've listened to a lot of podcasts still. So I don't know how that happened, but apparently I listened to like...
Still, obviously, listen to a lot. Well, I'll get into that because my number one, I'm like, it's like 0. It said 0.3. I'm like, I'm like, wow, this is incredible.
Nice.
So yeah, so go. So what was your number 5, dude?
Number 5, which one are we going on? Because we had top artists, top songs, top podcasts.
Top artists.
Top artist. My number, was it number 5? I've lost it.
Yeah.
Dream Theater was my number 5, and I'm pretty sure that's just because of their new album.
Yeah, you said you've been listening to it a lot.
Yeah, a lot.
So, yeah. Well, that's what about? Have you delved into any of their other stuff?
I've listened to Train of Thought a few times. That was pretty much the only album of theirs I liked before this one.
Ah, okay.
Not that I tried to get into any of their albums. That was just my one album. So this is album number 2 of theirs that I like. But
that's cool.
I want to go back and listen to some more. But yeah.
Yeah, to think. Yeah, if you like this one that much, there's probably going to be some other stuff that you really like as well.
Yeah. What was your number 5 then, man?
My number 5 was Bring Me the Horizon.
Yeah, nice.
Just because of their last like 4 albums, I think I've just had on repeat for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
it just keeps going. I'm like, oh, what should I listen to? Or they'll just put songs on playlists and stuff. Like, it's weird that a band that I genuinely had a dislike for 15 years ago
Yeah.
is in my like 5 top artists.
Yeah.
It's really weird for that to happen.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like a completely different band to what it was. So, but yeah, really cool. But yeah, anyway, people know about Bring the Horizon. We don't have to talk about them. What was your number 4, dude?
My number 4, I'm going to put a drum roll in here, definitely. It was Raunchy.
Yes, yes. Bit of raunchy action.
Yeah. After how much
I love it.
After how much we've spoken about them, I'm glad they were in my top 5, and it is not just it's not just like we're latching on,
just pushing all this raunchy on everyone.
Yeah, just latching on to a band for the lols or whatever. It's just like someone's going to recognize.
I love it.
Yeah, but yeah, Raunchy, awesome. What can I say?
Oh,
There's
dude,
no more to
I'm
say.
so glad. I'm so glad, man. I love it. Yeah, go listen to Raunchy.
Cool.
You'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
We certainly do.
And there was another
won't talk about-
episode we get to talk
Go
about
on.
because I'm not sure if they would have come up
Yes.
this episode. What was your number
Probably
4,
like
mate?
5 or 6 running now.
Yeah.
Mine are like my top 5. Like, obviously, this is only this year, but my top 5 this year is way more varied than it was last year. Because last year it was all like metal.
Yeah.
Where this year it's like, so my 5 was Bring Me the Horizon, and my number 4 was Coldplay.
Yeah.
I mean, I have been listening to a lot of Coldplay, but I didn't think they'd get into my top 5.
Yeah.
Like, I would understood top 10, but I mean, I love Coldplay, but I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I've obviously listened to them a lot, so fair enough. I was like, bit of a difference between Bring Me the Horizon and Coldplay, but
Yeah, no, I thought that was
Okay.
interesting. Is Nickelback going to be your number 3? Yeah, just
oh.
'cause I thought it was funny how much you've been defending them. I didn't realize you liked them that much as well. But I mean, it's
Yeah,
fine.
no, I
I'm
like
not
them.
laughing at you
I'm
for
like,
liking them.
we're the podcast that sticks up for all these bands that get a lot of hate. Like 2 of them I just named.
Yeah,
And they're both on my top artists. Like, I couldn't give a beep what people say about bands. If I like it, I'm gonna listen to it. I could care less what other people
Yeah.
think. Do you know what I mean? You like it, you like it.
awesome.
It's good shit. Right.
My
Number 3
my number
from you,
3
brother.
was Machine Supremacy.
Who the hell is that?
Machine? Oh, they're a fucking incredible band. They've got loads of albums out. They're from I'm pretty sure that's Swedish. They got to be Swedish, right? But they've got a lot of like 8-bit sound in their music. It's very, very electronic with the rock music. I need to go for a wee. Why don't you stick
Nice.
like 30 seconds of a song on it if you've got your Spotify on there? And
What's it called?
Machine Supremacy.
How the hell do you even spell
Like
that?
machine, but with an A at the end.
Okay. I'll find them.
Yeah.
Machine Super. Oh, they're right there. Yeah. Okay.
How many monthly
Give it a
listeners
quick
have they
listen.
got?
163,000. Decent.
Cool.
It's really decent.
Yeah, have a listen. My favourite song is not like the rest of them, but my favourite song of theirs is oh my god, what's it fucking called? Insignificant Murder or something like that. It's basically talking about
Oh, I've got it. Yeah.
murdering
got it here.
NPCs that
Indiscriminate murder is counterproductive.
Yeah, it's basically about murdering NPCs in a game that you need to give you quests to get to the next bit or something like that. But it's good.
Oh, okay.
Have a listen.
Yeah, man. Yeah, they sound good, dude.
Yeah, I've thought of another one that you should listen to. It's the first one that I heard, All of My Angels. And it's
these guys-
about Angel, Doctor Who angels.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the first one,
these
first
guys-
song that I heard, and I fucking loved them after that.
Yeah, these guys sound good, man. I like them.
Yeah.
It is very, very video gamey in a good
Yeah.
way.
Oh yeah, a lot of
Like
them.
even the riffs sound really 8-bit riffs.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that. That's different.
Yeah, awesome.
Oh, that's cool, man. That's good. Yeah, good. I'm happy. Where are they from?
Probably Sweden.
Okay, because I'm about to join you in the Nordic regions of the world, because my number 3 is a small band from Scandinavia as well, which is really weird, called Vola.
I've never ever heard of them.
Okay, there you go. So we're both schooling each
Yeah,
other. So,
yeah.
and they're both in our top, which is awesome.
Yeah.
They're like Opeth. If Opeth had modern metal breakdowns, so they have slow, lovely music. The singer doesn't scream; he just sings.
Yeah,
But the music is really heavy.
awesome. I've just found them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna follow them.
Yes, they are really cool. They're a really cool band. So they have like kind of like Opeth, really nice dreamy stuff.
Yeah,
And then like really heavy stuff. But he sings over everything. He doesn't scream on anything.
that's
So,
good.
it
I
is
don't mind singing
quite,
anyway.
quite different.
I prefer singing to screaming usually.
Oh, you'll like this then because it's got the sort of heavy edge. But yeah, he just sit and he's got a fantastic voice as well. So
Yeah.
And they're a 3-piece, which is really weird, which you don't get much in the more heavier side of music. So yeah,
Nice.
they're worth a shout to anybody. Yeah, I really got into them a few years ago, and then they brought out the new album this year. So I've obviously been slamming that like a madman. So, but they're Danish, so we're
Nice.
covering all of those sweet Scandinavian
Bit like
bases.
raunchy.
We got a bit of raunchy in there. Oh man, we are killing it. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. The Scandinavian bands, they're always ahead of everyone else.
Yeah.
If you want to be relevant in 2 years, just listen
Yeah.
to whatever they're doing in Scandinavia, just copy it, and you'll be huge. Because the Americans and us will be doing it in like 2 years' time.
Yeah.
It
That's
just
cool.
always, from my experience, that just always seems to happen. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, right. Let's hear your
Okay.
your number two.
My number
Blid.
1 and number 2 are just perfect because that's what it's been throughout my whole life. Number 1
Okay,
and number 2
okay.
bands. So my number 2 is
Okay.
Saliva, which I've always said is my second favorite band after Iron Maiden,
Okay, nice.
and I think it's probably obvious why they're up here. Oh, unless I was gonna put fucking post-it notes on top of my screen saying explain.
Explain.
Yeah, because we're so awful with there could be first-time listeners, and I apologise if we have just brushed over something that we haven't really explained very well. So yeah, so if you're new to the show, then Saliva haven't played over here for 20 years, and I've never ever seen them. And like I said, they've been my second favorite band since 2001, and they're touring next year. So I have been quite excited about it. So that not only they're touring, they are playing like a 5-minute walk from my house. So I am fucking looking forward to that. Really, really looking forward to it. So
buzzing, yeah. He's if you haven't listened to the podcast, hopefully you'll like this. Well, you will. You'll love this so much you'll want to go back and listen to all of them.
Yeah.
So when you do, you'll get a gist of how much this guy likes Saliva.
Yeah.
And loves Saliva, and rightly so, because they are very, very good.
Yeah.
And I want to be there just to see his little face light up when he's seeing them live. So
it will. I don't know. I might even cry. But
yeah, you never know. Like I've seen weirder stuff at shows than grown men crying, so it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Once you've been to Download and seen the things you've seen there, a man crying at a gig is like base level. It's like nothing. It's fine.
Yeah.
My number 2 again is like another wild card. Not a wild card, but I mean like I love this band, but I didn't think I'd listen to them that much this year that they were going to my top. So my number 2 is the Beatles.
Really? Huh.
And I love the Beatles,
Yeah.
but I was like, I've probably listened to a lot of Beatles this year, but have I listened to enough for that? The one that's missing, I won't ruin the first one, but when they done the rap last year, they told you like what was your most listened to artist of all time.
Yeah.
And mine was, and bear in mind, I've had Spotify since 2008. But Faith No More was still my number 1 artist out of everyone.
Yeah.
And this year, they're not even in my top 5, which is really strange, even though I'm pretty sure I've listened to them. Maybe not as much as I have in other years, but I just can't believe that they're not in there. And then you've got like Coldplay and the Beatles, who I do really like, but I didn't think I'd listened to them that much this year. So it's just really weird, really strange.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, go on.
The Beatles songs are quite short, aren't they? Are they usually?
A lot of them. They're not like long songs. They've got a couple of long ones, but they're not overly long songs. Especially the old ones from like the 60s. They're really short.
Yeah.
Like songs like Love Me Do and stuff like that. Like songs back then were like 2 minutes 50.
Yeah.
That's it. That's a hit. It's literally one small side of an LP. Do you know what I mean? Like that's it.
So that's got me thinking maybe it's done by how many songs you listen to. And if you're listening to the Beatles, you can listen to a lot of songs in a short period of time. So there's another thing I was going to talk about overall, actually. Like, is it better not better, is it more beneficial to do lots of short songs instead of doing one long song? Like, it made me think with Dream Theater, some of their songs are like 7, 8, 10 minutes long. If they did 3 songs in that amount of time, would they have gained more money? Is it done on time?
That's true. I mean, people probably expect it from them. Excuse me. So it's probably a bit different. But I think that if you're a new band, that's definitely a conversation you have to have. Like I've had that before with people in the band. Like, how long are we making this song? Like lengths probably don't matter that much when you're writing it. But I do think to us sometimes, like, guys, the song's already 6 minutes long. Like, we can't put any more. Like, that's already really long, especially for an unsigned band. Do you know what I mean? Like, when you're fucking Metallica or someone, you can write a 12-minute song because people are going to listen to it. No one's going to sit in a pub and listen to a 12-minute fucking rock ballad by some fucking unknown band, like, unless it's like the greatest thing that's ever been written, which is probably not going to be.
Yeah.
You're not going to sit there for 12. It's not fucking I'd Do Anything for Love by Meatloaf extended version. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But I get you. Yeah, it's true. Would it be better to split? Right, if you're listening and you're from Dream Theater, stop it with the long songs.
No, don't stop it.
We've all had enough.
Tell us, if you get the same amount of money, are you paid by time listened or tracks listened? You'll probably be able to tell us.
But I get what you mean, though. Yeah, a lot of the older stuff is shorter.
Yeah,
well, it's like Misfits, the early Misfits stuff. So every song's like 2 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, bloody hell.
It's like, yeah, we are 138. We are 138. Song's over.
Yeah.
Next song, yeah. Lost Girl.
And obviously,
like every song's 2 minutes
and
long.
obviously, Limp Bizkit are trying to bring that back. See, everything comes around. Everything comes around again. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's get other catalysts of.
Yeah,
that.
this stuff was short. Yeah, it was like teasing you, man.
Yeah.
It was good, but short. But yeah, I feel you, man. Okay, right.
Yeah, number one.
I already know what it is.
Yeah.
But everyone out there doesn't know what it is because I could have guessed this
Yeah.
a million times over.
But again, I wouldn't have guessed it. Not this year. But again, so my number one is Iron Maiden. And it
fair enough.
does make sense. But I don't think I listen to them that much. Like I said, I was in the top 0.5% of people listening to them. But I don't think I listen to them that much. But I will do, like quite often, say when I'm doing the dishes, if I know there's a lot there and it's going to take me 45 minutes or an hour, I will quite often just put This Is Iron Maiden on and listen to them the whole time I'm doing it. And so that's probably what has built it up. You know, most people,
Yeah.
a lot of people probably have 2 or 3 of their songs in a playlist. So when they get to that song, they are counted in this list of who's listened to them, even if it's just one song. Whereas I will, listen. Apparently, I listened to 3,500 minutes of them this year,
Jesus.
which I can't see. I can't see how that is possible. But I mean, I did listen to.
See, I consider myself to be like a proper Maiden fan until I met you. And then I was like, I'm not a proper Maiden fan, am I? Like, this guy is like a proper Maiden fan. Like, what
Yeah.
you like proper.
Yeah.
Like-
Okay. Yeah. Let's say that I am.
It's crazy. It's cool though. No, I'm a dude. I love Maiden, so that's awesome, man.
Yeah, it's weird because I've never really met anybody else who likes Iron Maiden. Not in Bridgewater, which is weird. I mean, there are people who do like them, but nowhere near as much as me. Or actually, I very rarely even see people with their T-shirts on.
I don't see as many people these days with Maiden t-shirts on.
Yeah,
That probably just says something about. I mean, I know that they're still releasing albums, but they are a pretty old band.
yeah.
Like, just some teenager probably looks at it and goes, "Iron Maiden? That looks like shit."
Yeah.
It's a bunch of old men on stage. So yeah, but some people obviously don't. But yeah, but yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I used to see tons of people. Maybe we're old now, man. We're not.
I
Down
don't
with
think I
kids
ever
anymore.
have,
We don't
though.
know what they're wearing.
Yeah, I don't think I ever have. In
Oh,
Bridgewater.
okay. You definitely did in London.
Yeah, oh,
100%.
yeah, you would have. It was weird going to
Yeah,
download
loads.
and seeing people wearing like rock tops in general, but
Well, you're going to get your fix at Download next year because they're playing, and you can guarantee there will be a plethora of Iron Maiden shirts. So
yeah.
you'll feel right at home at Download next year, like
Absolutely.
100%.
Go on then. What was your number one then, man?
My number one was Paradise Lost.
Oh, nice.
They were the band I've listened to apparently by far the most.
Yeah.
And apparently I was in the 0.3 top listeners of Paradise Lost. And I was like, holy hell. Like, I listened to them a lot, but I didn't think I listened to them like crazy amounts. But as it turns out, I actually do,
Yeah.
apparently.
Yeah.
But it's like you. It's like I just put on this shit. I put it on at work. I put it on when I'm at home. I put it on if I'm doing cleaning. I put it on if I'm doing. They're just like a comfort band for me that I listen
Yeah.
to, and I'm just like their stuff's just really good. So I could just put it on. I could put it on if I was going out because I'd get like rock out and sing the songs. I could put it on in the morning if I woke up and wanted to just walk around the house.
Yeah.
I could put it on if I was cleaning. It's the same with you and Maiden, really. I think
Yeah.
you clock up. You don't realise, but over in the space of a year, you end up clocking a lot of hours with these bands that you literally just love to stick on. And the Beatles, Coldplay, Bring Me, like all those bands are perfect examples of bands that I would stick on while doing stuff,
Yeah.
which rakes up the
Yeah.
hours
So-
quite a lot.
Well, for Iron Maiden, for me, it's like my fallback band. You know, if I want to listen to music and I can't decide what to put on, I just like fuck it, Iron Maiden then.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. But yeah, no, that's good, and I like that ours are completely different as well.
Yeah, definitely. We probably don't have time to go through the rest because there was 2 other things. Like I said, there was top songs and top podcasts.
Oh yeah,
Someone pointed out on on Instagram. Was he a friend of yours? Is it Sam?
Yeah, it's Harry. He's the guitarist
Harry.
in my band.
Pointed out that Dear Download is in my top 5 podcasts. Which, but yeah,
Sad.
nobody tell him that my number 2 was my podcast as well.
He doesn't know that.
No.
Thank God.
But yeah, so if you want to see my top 5 songs or top 5 podcasts, go to our Facebook or Instagram, and you'll be able to find them. And you can share with us what yours is. I'll tell you what, Raunchy is in my top songs, but I'm not going to tell you what song it is. You have to go and have a look. And,
Oh, yeah.
I know that's a weight bait. No, it's not really weight bait, that one, is it? Anyway,
It's just bait in general.
yeah,
just go and check it.
go, yeah, yeah,
Go and look, bro.
yeah. So we should probably wrap it up about here, shouldn't we? Unless
Yeah, I
there's-
think we've. No, I think we talked about Spotify. We told people our general Wrapped. It's just interesting for people to know, what we've been listening to and stuff. But yeah, that's it. I'm good. I'm good to go out, man. I think this is a good one and another subject covered.
Yeah.
That we both of us really wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But like I said earlier, there's so much more we could talk about it, and there will be so much more that we will
yeah.
talk about it. You said that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will come up again. It will come
Yeah.
come up in loads more stuff because it's connected to all the stuff that we do and listen to and stuff. So it will come up again. I'm sure that other streaming services, will come up and stuff. But yeah, good. I'm happy with what we said.
To cover it in, again, as I said earlier, to cover it in the depth that I wanted to cover it in, because I'm a perfectionist. We both need degrees in this shit, and neither of us have. So, if there's any questions any of you out there have got that you want to put to us, or anything you want us to discuss around Spotify or the music industry in general, or around streaming services, then just get hold of us on one of our social media pages. I'll mention them all at the end, as I normally do, or they'll be linked in the show notes.
Yeah, so basically there might be a couple more before Christmas. We will definitely be doing a Christmas special, and we'll come up with some stuff and what we're going to do. We're going to have to talk about what we're going to do in the next one. We're not quite sure what's going to happen, but just like this one, we'll think of a subject or possibly even a download year or something. I don't know what we're going to do, but I can guarantee you it will be something interesting and worth coming back for if you've enjoyed the other stuff. So if you haven't, and this is the first time you're listening to the podcast, if we've dropped out of your wavelength, hello there, you listening to the podcast, pay attention. You can just go back and listen to the other stuff if you want more stuff like this, if you've enjoyed this one. If we're not funny, go on social media and tell us. If we are funny, go on social media and tell us. Tell us if you hate us, how we can do the show better, or if you think it's the greatest show in the universe. Just come on social media and engage with us. That would be lovely jubbly.
Yeah. Oh, and
Wouldn't it?
absolutely. Yeah, and obviously let us know if we made it into your top 5 podcasts of the year.
We made it into Vicky's.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, we did.
Excellent.
So there you go. That's one.
Yeah.
Doesn't really count, but still.
No, I
That's
didn't make it
one.
into Kelly's. Oh, no. No, I didn't make it into Kelly's. Okay. Yeah,
It's all good.
It's all about that.
That's not.
It's fine. I don't care. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, we'll, like you said, we'll sort that out. Yeah. Awesome. But that's it then. You covered everything that I normally say, and did it much, much better than me. So thank you very much, Simon. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Like we said earlier, we should be getting a bit more. What's the right fucking word? Active.
I like this movement, though. If people can't, you obviously can't see what we're doing. But imagine swimming with your arms tucked in and without the water. Now, everyone, just repeat that movement. It feels good.
Yeah, we like we said, we're going to be a lot more active on them, and so yeah, we are. We're Dear Download Podcast on much of them. You just search for us. I'm sure you'll be able to find us. You can also email us at deardownload2003. That's 2003 at gmail.com. And you said everything else. That's everything then. So, did we miss anything out? I don't think we did.
Where people can find me?
Oh yeah, no, I was about to ask you that.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
I thought you'd get into it.
no. Yeah, Simon, where can people find you? Do you want me to ask you this every time? Are you happy with it?
Yes, definitely.
Cool. Okay.
I like the exposure. Whey! You can find me as Fonzie_Simon on Instagram, Simon Bond on YouTube. I literally today, as we were speaking, my YouTube video uploaded my first playthrough of Postal Day 1 Monday. So go and check that out. And I also got a Twitch, but all the links to that are on all my social media. So yeah, Simon Bond on YouTube, and everything can go from there.
Cool. Well, that's a goodbye from Simon then.
Goodbye.
And a goodbye from me. Goodbye.